There's been some talk about possibly Joshua using Jake Paul as a tune-up to fight you. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't know about tune-up. I think Jake Paul knocks him out.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Listen to me. Don't take a dive with this Jake Paul, mate. Do not do that. Not for $1 billion, my pal. Don't do it. Don't do as the others have done. Do not take dives. If he fights you, knock him dead as a nit, and good luck with it.
Tyson says he's going to bet £1 million on Jake Paul knocking out Joshua.
This is what I'm saying.
It being realistic or not, like it's going to happen. So fasten your seatbelts or whatever.
Jake Paul, the internet personality turned professional boxer, has made waves by calling out Anthony Joshua following his victory over Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Turki Alalshik, Saudi Arabia's influential boxing advisor, has reportedly backed the fight, granting it increased credibility. Boxing professionals have largely refused to accept a Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua matchup.
He said, Jake's manager, it's never a fight we anticipated. It's never a fight we've targeted. But if you want Jake Paul to be the warm-up fight, and obviously financially it's a great opportunity for AJ, and you want to provide AJ and probably in turn Matchroom with the opportunity to extinguish Jake Paul from the world of boxing, then maybe AJ will oblige.
Jake Paul, you've lost your mind if you think you can go toe-to-toe with Anthony Joshua. Listen, let's not get confused, guys. Let's not get confused. Yes, cool. Anthony, he took a big L with Daniel Dubois. But Daniel Dubois is not no joke, bro. He's not a joke. Do you know what I'm trying to say? He took a L there. But Jake Paul, I got the utmost respect of what he's done, how he's managed to navigate through the boxing world. Like, bro, it's so mad. And I can see this is like a 90%. It's happening, it's positioning, it's marketing already. Like, why would you see Jake Paul go face-to-face with Alexander Usyk if it's not to position for a fight for Saudi? Obviously, Jake Paul's going to fight Anthony Joshua. There's possibly going to be a Usyk against Tyson Fury 3 because obviously the last two were so close. But you never know. It can also be a Usyk against Derek Chisora. Do you know what I mean?
Due to overwhelming concern about the immense physical mismatch and legitimacy of the bout in professional boxing, after defeating Julio Cesar Chavez, Junior A. Jake Paul confirmed that his long-awaited showdown with Anthony Joshua is looking very likely for next year. He said, "I want to fight Anthony Joshua. I know I will beat Anthony Joshua's. He doesn't have a chin. He's stiff."
Challenge. People, that's the criticism. Fight someone in their prime who's a beast. I think people just want to see me lose. That's really what the message is behind it all. And Anthony Joshua is an insane fight, but I want that challenge. We've been DMing back and forth. He wants to make it happen. He called me up, and it's looking very likely.
Jake celebrated the win as proof of his growth and maintains he wants the challenge despite not being a full heavyweight, citing Deontay Wilder's success at lighter weights and embracing the risk. Discussions involving Saudi boxing chief Turki Alalshik and Joshua's promoter Eddie Hearn indicate momentum building, with Joshua indicating openness to the matchup if Paul is serious. Eddie Hearn, Joshua's promoter, acknowledged the fight's spectacle potential.
No, but if that doesn't materialize, I know the Tommy Fury name has been floated about. Is there any other fighters who may not be world champions that you're looking to face?
Yeah, I mean, Anthony Joshua.
I think that's the main one that, we've talked a lot about is if it's not for the title, it's looking at Tommy, if he's reasonable, and then Anthony Joshua. And he's adamant that he wants to make that fight happen at the end of 2026.
Anything's possible. And so I like the challenge. People, that's the criticism. Fight someone in their prime who's a beast. I think people just want to see me lose. That's really what the message is behind it all. And Anthony Joshua is an insane fight, but I want that challenge. We've been DMing back and forth. He wants to make it happen. He called me up, and it's looking very...
But cautioned Paul to be careful what you wish for, underscoring Joshua's danger. Hearn described Paul as crazy enough to pursue the fight, even though Joshua is a legitimate heavyweight monster, pointing out the huge payday awaiting both combatants. However, he emphasized the brutal risk of mismatching the inexperienced Paul against a seasoned AJ, calling it a catastrophic mismatch that could end Paul's career, literally or figuratively.
Jake Paul, Anthony Joshua 50-50 fight. What do you make of that?
Yeah, I just said in another interview, great if it is. I mean, if it is, then you've got no problem seeing it. But when AJ, I mean, decapitate's a strong word, but you know, when he renders Jake Paul unconscious like he did to Francis Ngannou, don't then say, oh well, it was Jake Paul. Do you know what I mean? I mean, when AJ beat Francis Ngannou, Ngannou just had a fight that could have gone either way with Tyson Fury. Then AJ poleaxed him and everyone just said he's just an MMA fighter. Do you know what I mean? Jake Paul's not Francis Ngannou. But, as I said before, if you want to see Jake Paul exit the boxing world...
However, Hearn has acknowledged Paul's strategy to call out pro boxers that bring in a huge payday. Further fueling the hype, boxing legend Roy Jones offered an unexpected perspective on the possibility of Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua, one rooted more in caution than spectacle. While Roy acknowledged that a showdown could happen if Joshua truly wanted it, he stressed the bout must make sense for Joshua both competitively and financially. Calling Joshua a legitimate former world champion, Jones firmly stated,
I want to change subjects just a little bit here. And Anthony Joshua, there's rumours circulating. He could be fighting Jake Paul next. One, do you think it's good for boxing? And two, do you think the fight will happen?
I think it's great for boxing. I think the fight will happen. AJ is 1-0 against these guys that come in to these boxing careers late. So why not? He's a perfect guy to take him out, too. He took Ngannou out. Why would he not take Jake Paul out? And for him, he'd probably make more money fighting Jake Paul than we'll fight anybody else that he can fight right now. So why would he not do it? I mean, not that he needs the money right now anyway, but if he's going to do something, if he want to get a good win to put him back on the scene, that's a perfect win.
Did you see what Anthony Joshua did to Francis Ngannou? The same thing happens to Jake Paul. If you think someone who isn't a full-time boxer will beat Anthony Joshua, then you're crazy. Dave Farrar and Spencer Oliver discussed a rapidly escalating public debate over whether Anthony Joshua might fight Jake Paul.
That common sense, we talk about this. We talk about the potential of Anthony Joshua and Jake Paul getting it on. He's some promoter, Jake Paul, of himself and of others too. But let's talk about the potential. Could you see this happening?
Do you know what? I think I could. Do you know why? I'll tell you why I can. Firstly, let me just say about Jake Paul. Look, he's been nothing but good for the sport. Forget what people think about him in the ring and, you know, what he's doing in the ring. He's been incredible for women's boxing. Insane for women's boxing. He's really brought it to the forefront, you know, with what he's done with Amanda Serrano and now signing up all these other girls that we've got, Chantel Cameron and all the rest of the girls that he's signing up. Brilliant news. Like, that's fantastic for women's sport, women's boxing. But he's also bringing eyeballs to boxing as well because he has a huge audience. And with what he's doing now, you're getting these, you know, the younger generation that had no interest in boxing at all now starting to watch it. So he's transforming so many people. You have to respect that. You know, what he's doing as a promoter, he's doing brilliantly. Now he's calling out Anthony Joshua. Is it real? Does he really want the smoke? I mean, he's got to be an idiot if he does, because Anthony Joshua, let's use this as a comparison. Francis Ngannou called Anthony Joshua out after pushing Tyson Fury the way that he did, and he looked at that and he went in there and he iced him in 2 rounds. Francis Ngannou versus Jake Paul, you got to go heavily on Francis Ngannou, haven't you? So what's going to happen to poor Jake Paul if he boxes Anthony Joshua, this Olympic?
These discussions intensified after Saudi boxing Suprayo Turki Alalshik hinted at giving the fight the green light during a Talkport appearance at Wembley. Alalshik confirmed Paul has verbally accepted a bout and expressed his desire for Joshua to dismantle Paul in a 991-style mismatch, calling it a win-win test of legitimacy on both sides. However, many seasoned boxing professionals have outright condemned the idea.
To the winner of this fight, do you think they deserve one?
No, I don't think so. I don't know why. It's hard enough for real athletes, for real boxers, to gain those rankings, and then suddenly this Solomon Souza decides to give double ranking because he's getting some greens in his, in his back pocket. No, that is disgrace to
Veteran heavyweight Derek Chisora has fiercely criticized the prospect of Jake Paul receiving a WBC ranking, branding it a disrespect to boxing. Chisora argued that real athletes work tirelessly to climb the rankings, while Paul, facing non-ranked or past prime opponents, would leap ahead merely due to fame, not merit. He accused WBC President Mauricio Sulaiman of trading credibility for money, stating that is a disgrace to boxing. That is unfair.
This nonsense.
Where am I? I can't see it happening. I can't. Although, yes, lots of money, so on and so forth. I can't see it. I just can't. It just, obviously, as someone who's been a unified heavyweight world champion going in against Jake Paul, it doesn't sit right. Yeah, and it's like, I'm also talking from a health and safety factor. It's like he's maybe a cruiserweight. Yeah. Anthony Joshua's a very big, strong heavyweight, and if he turns it on, it's not just a risk of a knockout. It's a much bigger risk. So I can't see it personally, but it's good talking.
Chisora emphasized that meaningful rankings should be earned in the ring, not handed out for clicks or promotional value. Lawrence Okolie has voiced serious concern over Jake Paul's potential showdown with Anthony Joshua, warning that it could pose a grave safety risk. Although Okolie once sparred with Paul and praised his dedication and mindset, he now believes entertaining a clash with AJ, who has elite power and technique, would be dangerously mismatched for Paul. Many boxing pros share this apprehension. Eddie Hearn called it dangerous, very dangerous, while Frank Warren labeled it a big ask given Joshua's physical advantage.